Hello and welcome to the next episode. We are in 2032, and now that we are on our way to antimatter and other things, I changed a bit the stuff from last episode. So we are not going to push the particle collider through at haste, because the output of that project here, if we are building it, is not that great. Which means we need the tier 2 module and then the tier 3 one later on. So instead, actually we are going to focus further on global technologies here. So we are going to finish up space commerce, which leads to our space future. We are also going to finish up this one, which is leading to extended space survival, which then leads to into ring HAPS, or ring core, which we need for tier 3. And so we are going to push these global techs now to wrap that up, basically, and push us into the next age while we prepare our defensive fleets. Actually, are our shipyards powered by now? Yeah, we do have one here. Okay. So at Earth, oh, wait a second, at Earth, we do have the capital ship already under construction, but we do have our 3 shipyards now. And we are going to make the laser battleship here. So 1, 2, 3. That's of course very expensive, but it's fine. And we are of course also going to continue upgrading our existing fleet to a certain degree. At some point, of course, we are going to start removing stuff when it is time for this. But right now we need to focus on more mission control. Also, I've been checking around, and the Chinese-Canadian war here is going to end relatively soon. It was one of the reasons why I didn't want to take over Canada here, because I can't change this. Like, I wouldn't get out of this war, and eventually you would lose it. So, but now the last Canadian army is dying out here on the home territory of Ottawa, Toronto. Soon afterwards they are going to occupy it, and then this war is finally over, for which I'm waiting for. And hopefully then we can break Canada and then start the slow process of trying to get the servants out of America. Let's hope that we can make this work. Yeah, there are also going to be some fights in this episode, but I decided that I'm probably not going to show them. I mean, there's a big fight here with 10 ships. No, wait a second, they are flying to the asteroid. 7 ships here on Mars. But that shouldn't be a problem. It's just some frigates, escorts, and a gunship. Nothing fancy here in the end. So we are just going to raid this out. There's also 3 ships here with a battleship. It's also not really a challenge right now. So probably we are going to skip them, because I want to get forward here in our campaign. So pushing global techs and so on while building our defense fleets here. Yeah, so let's push forward here. Let's see what else will show up on the way. Okay, here we are in March. Now we have taken out the fleets, which I mentioned earlier. So there was 6 or 7 ships, maybe it was 8, I'm not sure right now, which we had to fight around Mars. We lost, I think, 2 or 3 ships in that fight, so quite some losses, but it's fine. Now I've speeded forward into March now, because 2 things are going to happen in this mission phase. Actually 3 things are happening. First of all, we are going to finish alien computers, space commerce, probably even arrival psychology. So after space commerce, we are going into antimatter. No, wait a second, our space future first. And then here in arrival psychology, we go into extended space survival, which is leading towards the ring HAPS, which we want for our antimatter production. Meanwhile, what we're also going to do is we are going to fold the Nordic Federation finally into the European Union to free up some control points here. And then we are going to start to go after England here, or the United Kingdom, because Canada refuses to fall here. So we still don't want to take that over here right now. So we are continuing to expand into here, because we can get some military score from there, or also 2 armies. That's going to be quite useful. But we are going to do this peacefully, similar to Egypt. So we are going to just take it over and then basically federate and unify it at some point. Well, alien computers is done. to even identify the larger machines obtained from the aliens has tested our finest scientific minds to the limit. They are so far apart from our essential concept of the computing device, but though we are now confident that they are indeed computers of a sort. Understanding their exact purpose and function is another matter entirely. Their interface is designed neither for human hands nor voices, while even their visual feedback is bewilderingly sparse. Our best hypothesis is that an array of unusual spongy pans found within the most intact of these machines suggests some other form of sensory in and out. Perhaps olfactory operation. Given how human limitations on the deciphering and emanation of smell, this is not something that we can easily replicate, though we may be able to create synthetic alternatives in time. The actual processing elements of the computer have been somewhat easier to categorize. As far as we can tell, they employ a highly advanced form of quantum computing and photonics we ourselves have recently researched, which likely enables them to monitor, navigate, and communicate across this solar system with an effectiveness we can as yet only dream of. We get a massive 25% mission control priority and a 2% knowledge priority. And in the future we could get advanced climate modeling here. So, oh, we got it already. We are not going to do this one there. Instead, we are going to pick the in situ resource utilization module to make dry holes and lucky strikes more likely. The dry holes, of course, less likely. We don't need to push anything in here. That's already finishing in the next minute, basically. So let's push these two here. Finish up a global and a protection project.
If we're not
there we go.
To spend whatever it...
And here we pick up our space future, which is going to lead into antimatter mass production here, and ring habs, of course, as well. But we need other priorities as well. So, like here. Well, perfect. And now to the... that's also a favorite here. This one, civilian quantum computing. It's okay, we don't need it right now. Okay, crackdown is done. Oh, I completely forgot. What I did in between is that I have set up a new shipyard on Mars. So there is the Naval Yard 2 now, and there's also the... Is it this one? Did I not rename it yet? Oh, apparently not. So this one will also be... I don't know... Earth Shipyard 2? Something like this. Because we need to produce ships faster, we really need to get out of our old school ship designs. And that's what we really want to do, so that's why we build more shipyards, and then we can upgrade the other space docks that we have left currently. And that will be, of course, most fortunate. And there we are. We are federating, or rather unificating here with the Nordic Federation. There we go. And now we have a massive 1.1k money output here. That's really nice. And of course, a little bit of additional science. Probably not though, because smaller nations are always profitable, but we need the points here. Oh, something is flying towards Earth again. Wait a second, that was a large fleet. What's coming there? Arrival time. Oh, 10 ships. Nice. Intruder. Battleship, destroyers, monitors, escorts, gunships. Yeah, we don't care. Shouldn't be a problem. We do have... If we merge that together, we do have 31 ships here at Earth. Maybe our capital ship, our new flagship's actually finishing up at that. Until then, yeah, that would be awesome. Now, the ship construction, let's see, on Earth here. Yeah, the upgrades are going through here. I do think I'm not going to do more upgrades here. Instead, I'm going to upgrade them into shipyards as soon as they are finished. The flagship is finishing up in 90 days. That's in April, May, June. June, okay. And the large fleet arrives in, I already forgot again, June. Afterwards. Yeah, we are not going to be in time with our new flagship, sadly. But okay, we can't solve that. Then we have to fight without it. But we do have enough punch to fight them. Yeah, and with that we are going to fast forward here again. And try to go and get into the UK here. Because that's going to provide us a little bit of money, but also 140 science. And most importantly 15 mission control. Which is also helping us in science and in our money. Of course, the money problem is massive, but we have a lot of nanofactories under construction on Mars. So that will be better eventually. But for the moment, let's just continue forward here. Okay, a small development. I've been discussing yesterday on the Discord for Terra Invicta about missiles and which one everybody prefers, and I got a recommendation to try something out. And because I have the prerequisites for this technology basically, and that's the project which is going to finish up here now, exactly, the nuclear powered penetrator warhead torpedoes here, which unlocks the Hestia or Hestia, which are not a nuclear rocket, but they are, I think they are somewhat fueled by something like this, because they have a little bit of fissile cost here. Main point is that they deal a lot of damage, and most importantly they have an extremely high delta V. So they have a really long range, and targeting range is also 800, so that's quite a lot. And yeah, basically they are slower, 4.9 Gs, which is still a lot. So let's actually check out some alien ships if we can. Wait a second, let's finish the electron lens here. And the global tech here. So alien ships, no, fleets here. So for example, the gunships here, they have a maximum acceleration in combat of 3.8. So that's definitely lower. So I want to try them out. I'm not just sure on which ship class I want to put them. Definitely on my missile battle cruiser here. So we are going to upgrade that ship definitely here. Because we are not constructing it right now anyway. So we don't need the Ares here. No. They are nuclear powered. Okay, and this is a nuclear thermal rocket. But it's not a nuke itself, it's just nuclear powered. Okay, that's the difference here. So we are going to take the Hestia here. And put that one on. To see what happens exactly in detail here. Now the Hestia only has, I think, 6 shots, right? No, it has 9 actually, so it's even one more. Interesting. But this one would now be the missile battleship version 2. Not sure if anything of the utility modules can be upgraded actually. Targeting computer is still alright. ECM. Yeah, right. We have a better ECM by now. Perfect. So let's save this one. But we also maybe want to try out some of our... like the No Water class, which has a magazine. So maybe we want to do... let's call it Hestia. And then we remove these ones here. Put the Hestia on it, or the Hestia. And save the design. The big question is now, can we, wait a second, where do we have the next fight? On Earth, okay. So maybe on Mars. Maybe we want to rebuild something on Mars. Do we have anything available on Mars? Yeah, 1 space dock. Okay, so we could pick our dock ships here. Yeah, we can remake the version 3 into a Hestia one. Nice. No, wait, that's... Ah, that was serious. Where do we have them? Here. So we could rebuild these ones into only 9 days. So actually, maybe we want to do this and build all the version 3s into Hestia rockets. Or version 4s, rather. I would like to try that out. Maybe that helps. We don't have a fight on Mars currently, right? Oh, there's July. There's one ship coming. So we do have time. We could rebuild most of our fleet into these new designs. That would be interesting. I think I want to do this. So I'm going to set that up between episodes here, or rather now in a break. So that we also have a design for the version 5 here. So the version 5. Where are you? No, it's 1D. The 1D ship that we also have a newer version for this one. And then we can upgrade all of them, what we have, to the better version. I mean, what do we have? No, not Artemis torpedo. That's not what we didn't use that one. The Viper missiles, which we were using on our old designs, they are good and nice. But we see that the aliens adapted to this to a certain degree. So if we, for example, check out the 1C class here. The Vipers have the problem. They have 18.3 Gs, but they only have 5.6 kps. So they burn really hard. And then they are out of fuel. We saw that already in the old battles quite a lot, that the couldn't catch target. So based on the discussion I had was that the higher KPS of the Hestia should provide a solution for this to a certain degree. It still will not follow endlessly, but might be able. And also the targeting range of 1000 kilometers is really nice, so we can engage much earlier and therefore take a lot less laser shots on our ships. And the damage is, of course, immensely higher on the Hestia. So the Hestia here makes 855 damage compared to the 40 damage of the Viper. We have one... No, we have... no, it's 6 per... The magazine is only 6, so it was 9 because I had the magazine on the ship, actually. Yeah, still. We still want to rebuild these ones here. And this is really quickly done. And the rate is a little bit higher, so it takes a little bit more damage to shoot them down, but this is irrelevant in the end. Penetrator versus fragmentation, so we deal 60% damage to armor. That's also okay, because we deal a lot more damage. The only downside is the small amount of nobles, but we do have 5.6k. I think we can survive this. So yeah, we are going to do this. I'm going to set up these classes and start rebuilding our fleet into these newer designs. Oh well, here we are in June. We have now taken over 2 control points in the United Kingdom, which provides us with 8 additional mission control, a bit of science and so on. And the good thing is now that our timer is started to tick towards... Well, first of all, we have to do an alliance. So we can't, because we had to get away from the rivalry here. Actually, Iran we should also fix. So soon we can do the European Union alliance, and then in about 180 days we can do the Federation. Most importantly, however, is we are still around 500 control points, so we do have a little bit of breathing room. We are still waiting here. It does look like it will never finish here. So I'm considering if we maybe instead want to go after Mexico here and just take stuff there. But furthermore, what has developed is that we are close to, how much is it? 10,000 on Mars of population. So we had 9,484. I still have some modules under construction here, including some not the operation centers here, the quarters, which I made just for population. Because when we get over 10,000, we can actually make research campuses on Mars. So research campuses can only be built in the Earth lunar system or on or above worlds with 10,000 population. So that's our next goal here. Probably still in this episode. We're going to use our Marines to take over more of the remaining bases here. There's not a lot of stuff left, but we are going to take stuff from the Resistance. We are going to continue that path. And then we are going to make 2 stations with research campuses there. I'm also going to investigate if there are other stations we maybe want to remodel into research campuses then. Of course, we have to be a little bit careful that we don't drop below 10,000 again as soon as we start that process, basically. Also, we still have to fix our money problem. So we still need some nanofactories here, which will be a problem. But yeah, it's slowly progressing, and we do have a decent income of stuff. Also, our shipyards are now in full speed, basically. So we do have on Earth, still 2 are still unpowered, but that's going to get solved soon. We do have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 battleships under construction. Actually, we can queue up 1 more ship here. So we are going to do a laser battle cruiser here. So we do have a lot of stuff on Earth under construction. And most importantly, our flagship has finished. We are waiting for our fleet to repair from the last battle. So that's in 2 days, actually. And then we can fly home towards the... yeah. Go to India 6622. I do it like this. We are not in a hurry here.
Hunkering down. Securing our control.
And also there are modules finishing up here.
I think we have a breakthrough.
Meanwhile, I'm, by the way, improving loyalties on... okay. But why did we fly here? Oh, maybe the... oh, maybe I didn't pay attention and the... yeah, alright. Our flagship has been constructed there. It was not on the main spaceport. So basically, our flagship can now be merged into our main fleet. So, and this one has now the flag bridge, reducing control point costs by 20%. So let's see what happens if we do this. 238 are we currently. And we go down to 229. So we lost 9 mission control. I would say that's definitely worth it. Really nice. What? Resistance. Come on. And we should, however, move this fleet to the main shipyard. So that should go there. Main shipyard here. And now with the modules finishing up on Mars. We are very close. So basically, as soon as we... there we are. That's even more.
The people will come to our
yeah,
side.
there will be... we will jump over 10,000 in the next weeks, probably. And then we can start on the research campuses. That's the stuff I want to do still in this episode. So let's jump forward a bit. Hey, here we are in August, and a lot of things are happening currently. So there's an alien agent here in the United Arab Emirates. There's also one down here in Sudan. I mean, we could check which one is easier, actually. So this one is 26 security. This one is only 16. So let's go after this guy here. The other one is probably like wave 2. So he has a lot more defense.
Initiating
Let's take this guy. Maybe we can take him out. He's recently landed there. He has recently landed there. Meanwhile, we are pushing public opinion here in Mexico to eventually get a control point here. But that's due to all the delays that we have. For example, we have to retake Egypt here. Humanity First broke into one of their control points. That's all delaying us a little bit. Now, our shipyards, however, are constantly producing ships currently here. So everything is building and doing something. Either it's upgrading stuff or it's building new capital class ships for our defense fleets, while we are progressing on the global technology front. Also, we are going to finish up exotic materials with what I want to end. With that, I want to end the episode. So basically, we are going to wait until the 20th of August here. Probably 2 missile mission phases. But first of all, yeah, exotic materials. After exhaustive analysis and stress tests, we have little idea of what this material truly is. We do, however, know what it is not. Despite previously believing that these so-called exotics were some manner of I have no idea how to pronounce this one. Unknown alloy, we have determined that it can also exist in a non-solid state, such as within the coolant of an alien warship's heat sinks. It would appear that, rather than being a construction material itself, it will instead improve and augment the durability and electrical conductivity of any other substance it is applied to. While establishing the exact composition of exotics continues to elude us, most certainly they are not of our solar system, we have been able to separate significant quantities of them from the alien materials they are bonded to. This has enabled us to attempt implementation of the material in many of our own technologies, and happily it readily adapts to almost any process it is subjected to. As its atomic structure can move between anionic to cationic with ease, it is simply astonishingly versatile. Now we can amass exotics. We already have 13 due to the fact that we have killed quite a lot of ships. And then we could go into the exotic heat sinks if we want to, but they are not that great.
To harvest more of these materials from alien spacecraft.
The alien exotics are quite impressive. They allow the production of new materials which are superior to anything that can be manufactured upon Earth. Our R&D personnel have already suggested dozens of entirely new markets that could be opened using designs that are only possible with exotic alloys. The potential for wealth creation is enormous. Disappointingly, however, our research have been unable to suggest any viable way of reproducing these exotics ourselves. Evidence suggests that producing them requires a large quantity of highly advanced infrastructure, which may be why the aliens have chosen to import them directly from their home. In the long term, matching the alien capabilities will require us to send teams to their native production facilities and study their industrial techniques in person. In the meantime, it has been suggested that we should farm exotics from the aliens already present in our solar system. Given their enormous value, even significant losses of ships and personnel in exchange for relatively small quantities of exotics will still represent a favorable exchange. In light of this, the board has authorized you to scale up our shipbuilding program. We are already doing that. Okay, research wormholes is something we are supposed to do. We get exotic hybrid systems, which improves military, Hydron spike ratio, and Hydron trap. Hydron trap is something we want to research. Question is now, what do we want to do as the next one? Probably the Ferrocite Mastery, right? It's a very long investment, but I think we should start on this one. We'll take like a year at our investment priorities here, which is okay. I think 1 year is okay. But we are probably going to boost that up eventually. So these ones are not important. However, these two are important. So we are going to push global tech again. Okay. Also, we have been going up nicely in science here. So European Union is 1.2k now, which also increased the mission control cap again slightly. Yeah. And also, now what we are going to... Oh. Okay, we are going to jump forward to the 20th of August, because roughly then we should exceed the 10,000 population on Mars. I will fight these fights on my own. It's not that interesting to fight single ships here. Okay, finally, we are here on the 22nd of August, and our planet Mars has reached 10,127 population. this will allow us to finally build some research campuses here. So we are going to use the 2 captured bases from the Resistance, which are basically only partially repaired, to build some research campuses here to boost up our science even further. I'm considering to also change other stuff on our Mars colony here basically, but now we can finally build some proper science here. Of course, the energy requirements will be the biggest hurdle, but that's something we can live with. Now also, after we have set up our defensive fleets decently, we are going to go into the new ship design, which has the, how was it called? Ship designer with the Helicon drive here to get to Mercury again. So I do expect that in the next episode, we are going to start making ships for the Helicon fleet, because we are now going to start sorting out stuff we no longer need, which is, for example, this monitor class here on Mars. We are going to scuttle this one. Oh, wait a second, do we have crew on board? No, it does not have crew. Yeah, that would be surprising me. So we're going to scuttle these ones. They are definitely not worth it. So basically, yeah, bye-bye. There we go. Because what I wanted to say is crew is going to be quite important here now, because we can actually, we could start transferring stuff over to our capital ships. We only have 1 right now, but we could, for example, look for someone who reduces the reset. If we have someone with level 2 somewhere, like this one, no, it's damage control. It's not what I want either. Maybe we have someone somewhere. Engineering officer. Oh, this one is a nice one. We should definitely move this one to a capital ship because it gives us salvage. So that's really nice. So this one can have a captain or admiral and 4 others. What I'm searching for is actually a captain somewhere. Some marines. So apparently we don't have a captain here, which is sad. We only have like crew or chief, whatever that is. Yeah. If we have a captain, that would reduce our... Ah, here, mission commanding officer. We do have a senior captain here, actually. And we can therefore reduce the costs here of our flagship by 1 at least here. Because of the escort, it doesn't really do anything, because the limit is 1 and escorts only cost 1. So we can actually move this one over to the flagship here. And in theory, we should go down 1 mission control. Yep, from 239 to 338. And also, we can now do basically again and sort others over there. So for example, the increase the chance that officer will be promoted in a triggering event by 200%. Yeah, this sounds great. We're going to put him on the flagship as well. Promotion trigger is a victorious space battle. That's something we're definitely going to see here. We're also going to move over the damage control officer here, because it's our capital ship, so we don't want that one to die in any way. And then we're also going to send over the engineering officer here, because that increases the salvage. Oh. I should have... Yeah. I was too quick. I need to transfer them separately, basically. So maximum is 4 plus captain. We do have a captain. Yeah, and we also increases all weapons' ability to overcome enemy ECM. Maybe we should save that for our battle cruiser, actually. For our rocket battleship, I mean. So maybe we check these ones out here. This one also increases post-combat salvage. Our capital ship will always be involved, so you go over there as well. And the needle ship only has marines, so we are going to keep them here. So that's fine. And then this one here, the first officer, we are going to put that one on the rocket battleship. But now we do have the 4 crew members here already. So that's really nice. And we are going to transfer, of course, more of them when we are able to. We're going to do the same basically here on Earth. But we don't have the... Oh no, we have the capital ship as well already. Yeah, it's already finished. I forgot. So we are going to do the same here, but I'm not going to show it here in detail. If we have somewhere... If we have something here. Crew chief. It's decent. Not the best one. We don't really have level 2 officers here on Earth. That's annoying, but fine. The only problem is that these monitor classes here, the alien laser, or luster in this case, I'm made a spelling mistake here. We will remove them. They will be the first one to be disbanded when our laser ships are finishing up, our not dreadnoughts, but the, how are they called? The laser battle cruisers, yes. The laser battle cruisers when they are finishing up, because they have the pretty big frontal laser. That's what we are interested in, the arc laser cannon. That's finally dealing some damage here. Not a lot, but still, finally some. Yeah, and with that, we are going to end this episode. The next one, we are going to continue our science lead here, going to build them up further, and of course continue our fleet build up. Leave a like and subscribe, and see you next time.